Welcome to the Flippin' Hippos reseller channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps us feed our hungry hippos. Today we're looking at what sold on Poshmark from the month of April. So we're looking at sales specifically on just this platform just from April. I haven't pulled up all of our sales, but I have pulled up the highlights and items that I want to talk about with you. Let's start with the black Rasta collar chipped puka shell necklace. This is a mouthful. The AI that I use on List Perfectly to build my listings helped me with all of these keywords. I would never have known what a puka shell, I do now. That's why I like the AI. I can put something through that I've never listed before. I have no idea what it is, and you learn as you go. I did put Rasta, Jamaican, beach. I tried to get as many good keywords in here as I could, and then it sold for $22. I want to talk about these JMS capri pants. This is just my size. JMS stands for just my size. It is a plus size brand. I believe it used to be sold at Kmart, but I know it has a loyal customer base still to this day. Just like Lane Bryant and Torrid, JMS is a known plus size brand that women like. It's kind of a lower end bread and butter, maybe a mid-grade bread and butter, but it still has customers out there that are loyal to it, that look for it, search for it, and shop for it online. So I don't pass up this brand when I do find it. Pilcrow and the letterpress is actually Anthropology. Let me show you the tag. It says Pilcrow and the letterpress, and then it always looks like it's crossed out. That's on purpose. That's by design. That's how this tag should look. It has those stitches through the words. But this is a Anthropology line, and these are good. I like them. They used to sell for a lot more money, of course. People race to the bottom, but it's still a decent brand to look for. Most Anthropology still is. We have a chunky gemstone choker necklace that sold for $17. Silver jeans. So I just recently, in the last couple days, put out my jeans video I do every month, my jeans that sold on eBay. And we were talking about silver jeans, Miss Me jeans, Madewell, the brands that I used to sell for 50 and 60 bucks. And well, you see what happens now. Now these are capri jeans. Capri jeans aren't full-length jeans, and they're typically going to sell for a little bit less than their counterpart, the full-length jeans. But there still should never have been a day where I sold silver capri for $20. Unfortunately, I did. The race to the bottom, the state of the economy, you do what you got to do. I wanted to point this out because you can only list things for what everyone else says, right? If you're still listing your silver jeans at 60 bucks anymore, you're not going to get the money. So you have to follow the trends and you have to comp. But it's a drastic change from 2017 when these would have been $55. This is what the race to the bottom does. Just want everybody to see that. Speaking of Madewell, here's a pair that sold for $20. Now, these would have sold for about $30, $35 on eBay. I do take a little bit less on Poshmark because they're paying for the shipping. I'm not spending any money on the label, and they're paying a lot for shipping over here. So I take that into account when I do my offers. I like Bakewell shirts as well as the jeans. This is a cardigan. I should say that a lot of the popular brands for jeans, I also like the sweaters, the tops, the blouses in those brands. They're not going to sell for thousands of dollars and pay for your kids' college, but they're going to have a quick sell-through rate, and they're going to sell for bread and butter prices. Lucky brand shirts usually sell, I don't find them that often, and when I do find a cute Lucky brand shirt, it'll sell within like a week of being listed for like 20 bucks. But it's a very quick return on your investment. Those trusted jeans brands, those recognizable brands in jeans, if you see the tops and the sweaters, go for it. Artisan boho, multi-gemstone bead. These keywords are great. I love List Perfectly's AI. Look at this stone. Isn't that pretty? I'm not even like a jewelry fan, but that's pretty. Then we have a jade heart, just a pendant. Pro compression black athletic tights. These came in my bulk buy from my friend Jay when I did that huge buyout earlier this year. I'm still working through my last 2 boxes from that. These pro compression pants are something I would now look for. This is why I like doing buyouts of other resellers and buying the bulk buys and buying the thread up boxes. I find new to me brands, but also new to me types of clothing that are like something I never would have thought to look for. Yes, I only go to the thrift store once a month, but I do go once a month and we spend a couple of hours in there. I go with my eBay meetup group, and I'm finding that now I'm not just spending my 2 hours in jeans or plush. I'm looking for all of these things that I'm learning about, and I'm willing to branch out. This is why I feel like it's good to buy wholesale once in a while. Well, one of the reasons. I like learning about new to me items and brands, but you guys know I also like just being in my home and not having to go thrifting. I'm not a thrifting fan. If I can have thousands of items delivered right to my door, that's great. Chico's. So I have some advice when it comes to Chico's. When it comes to the jeans, I, on purpose, like off the rack at the thrift, will only source the So Lifting and the So Slimming lines of Chico's jeans. If they come to me in a bulk buy, which these did, I'll list them, it's fine. But if I'm sourcing them on purpose, I only want plus size or So Slimming and So Lifting. Now, when it comes to their tops, their blouses, their pantsuits, and things like that, I would recommend getting it. I don't source a lot of women's tops, but I did just grab a couple of Chico's 3-piece pantsuits and women's tops at my last trip to the thrift. They're in the laundry room. They'll get washed and listed eventually. My friend Karen sources tons of Chico's blazers, dresses, shirts, tops, blouses, and sweaters, and she does really well. So there's something to be said for the brand. It is recognizable, has a customer base. The only thing you want to be wary of is they do vanity sizing. Vanity sizing is when a brand has their own sizes. You need to find the chart on their website and put both sizes in your listings. I like to put the standard American size in my title because that's what most women are looking for. But there are resellers who would say, no, put the Chico's vanity size in the title because loyal customers know their Chico's size and that's what they're looking for. So that's a personal preference, but I highly recommend putting both here. You can find their size chart on their website. Torrid has vanity sizes as well. There's a couple of other brands that do, but you can always go to their website and get their size chart and it will convert it. It'll say Chico size 1 is a standard US size 8. And you just want to make sure that you include all of that in your listing. But yeah, Chico's is a good brand. I'm just very discerning when it comes to their jeans because those don't do as well unless they're specific types. But as far as women's clothing in general, my friend does really well with these. And I have to say, I've also had some Chico's jewelry that came to me in my bulk buys that did really well. So this is a good brand. It's decent. It's a mall brand, but it's decent. This is a handcrafted Glass Galaxy Murano glass bead. And then I added astronomy and celestial. Those seem like good keywords. Look at this bead. Isn't it pretty? I thought that was so pretty. And then we had a bulk buy on comics. There were 6 in the buy. We made $22. Not our best, bulk sell, but these were some of our lower end comics, and I like to get rid of those in big bundles. Some sellers would tell you it's better to bundle them up front. So if you have a bunch of comics are going to be $8 plus shipping. On eBay, I would have another $5 on these. They'd be, $13 all in. They'd have the $5 shipping. But there's some sellers that would say, well, if you have a series of Spider-Man all in a row, just bundle them to sell. And that's a personal preference. If they're looking for the entire series, that's great. But what if they're only looking for issue number 4 or issue number 6? They're not going to buy the whole bundle. But if they're looking for all of them, they'll come on your store, your Poshmark closet, and they may create a bundle and buy all of them. So then you're allowing yourself to be available to the buyers who are looking for just one specific issue and the buyers who want the whole series. And you're not limiting yourself. So I don't like to bulk my comics together to sell them. I like to list them individually. And then on Poshmark, they can bundle. And on eBay, they can offer. And on weekends, I do a coupon on my eBay. If they buy 2 or more, they get 50% off. And I do combined shipping for comics and stuff like that. So there's ways to entice the folks that want to buy them in a set. But I don't want to limit myself, because if someone's looking for a specific issue, they're never going to buy a bulk buy of 10. They may message you and ask if you're willing to break it up and sell it, and then it's this whole big thing. So I just list them individually. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns about anything you saw in this video, reselling on Poshmark, reselling in general, let me know in the comments. I have a feeling some of you are going to ask me how I feel about the issues that are going on with Poshmark right now concerning them suspending sellers left and right for just deleting items. I don't really have a stance on it other than I disagree with it, and I don't think they're handling it well. I did make a post in my Facebook group addressing this. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. If you're already a member, you can go see my post. You can join and read my post. I'm not going to make a whole video or really address this Poshmark issue other than to say I disagree with it, and I think their customer service, quite frankly, sucks. And they need to stop being arbitrary, and they need to handle their business. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.